What's going on, everybody? Welcome to G Miles World Podcast, and thank you guys so much for joining me for Week 15 of the NFL 2018 season as we jump right into the games. It was a very, very exciting day towards the end. We're going to get to that Steelers and Patriots. It was a classic, in my opinion, about the way that they were able to finally overcome that. But Cardinals and Falcons, I don't know where this Falcons team was the entire year. Now, I know they had a barrage of injuries. Deion Jones, seeing Deion Jones run like that down the field and score, that made me feel good. Now, I still believe that the Falcons have to fire their head coach after what happened in the Super Bowl in order for them to even get anywhere else, because I think that stigma is still with the team and it's with the head coach. Very, very similar to how I feel about Pete Carroll and the Seahawks. I think that they have to do something about that because you can't lose a Super Bowl when you're up 28-3. Other than that, the Cardinals, they weren't really good to begin with. I do feel bad for Fitzgerald that he has to deal with it. And Josh Rosen, in my opinion, is one of the worst rookies out of the rookie class that are now starting in the NFL. Maybe he'll get better as time goes on, but I'm not really fond of him. The Buccaneers and the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, he's like a spark plug, bro. And I'm going to tell you this right now. The Ravens' run game is really, really ridiculous, and they play good defense. Now, all of us know good defense and a run game usually equals, I don't know, man. They're going to probably upset someone, bro, because look, it's very, very hard to beat a team that can move the ball on the ground because the clock's running, they're scoring, and their defense is getting you off the field. So I really feel like the Ravens are going to upset someone. I just have to wait to see how it all plays out, because no matter how good you are offensively, the Ravens are somehow holding teams to very minimal points. That's going to be dangerous come playoff time. So I just want you guys to keep an eye on it. I think these guys are my dark horse, like my favorite to upset someone going into the playoffs. The Buccaneers are the Buccaneers. Nobody really expected them to win, so I don't really want to sit here and waste time talking about Jameis Winston. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the next couple games. The Lions and the Bills. Now, this was a very, very interesting game because, like I told you guys, I like Josh Allen, okay? I like that kid a lot. I think in another couple of years, I think he's going to be a really, really good quarterback. Now, I could just be living in the moment, but throughout the entirety of the season, when I first saw him play, I liked him. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what some people may think about him, he did break Michael Vick's record for most rushing yards in a season. It seems weird that a guy like he would do that because he doesn't look like the guy that's so, like when you think of Mike Vick, you think of the Michael Vick experience. You think of a guy that was able to break tackle, spin move, do craziness. Remember that Josh Allen hurdled Anthony Barr, who's 6'5". Just so I can give you guys an idea. Dude is very athletic, and he's a savage. And when the Bills put some pieces around him, that team is going to be very, very dangerous. I can promise you that, at least offensively. The Lions, they have Matthew Stafford. As long as Matthew Stafford's there, they're not going anywhere. It's very simple. The Packers and the Bears. I'm going to be honest with you about this game right here. I knew the Bears were going to win this game. Congratulations to the Bears for clinching their NFC North title, their first one since 2010. But Aaron Rodgers is starting to really aggravate me. And I don't know if it's just because, the way the whole Mike McCarthy thing went down, because I agreed that Mike McCarthy should have been fired, but a lot of his mannerisms, I'm starting to get a little tired of it. I still think he's a great quarterback, but all these things coming out about him being a diva, not really being a team player, and then watching him on the field, I don't know, man. I was very, very annoyed throughout the game. He did miss some throws, but sometimes the receivers did drop the ball. The O-line, for the most part, gave him a decent amount of protection, especially when you're looking at the Bears' defense, who was just monstrous. I think he had more than enough time to make plays, and he just didn't. The Bears, like I said, Trubisky came down and scored when we knew he would. I told you guys again that I really like Trubisky. When they moved up in the draft to get him, I was telling you guys, like, bro, that dude is pretty good, and you guys were laughing at me. Keep laughing, though. The Raiders and the Bengals, both these teams suck. Their coaches are absolute. Well, I can't say John Gruden right now, but I can say Marvin Lewis confidently. He's an utter moron when it comes to coaching. But that's not what this is about. John Gruden have to kind of wait it out with the Raiders because he exploded the entire team, and he's supposed to be doing so many things with all the picks that he got. He is looking like an idiot with the way that Khalil Mack has played with the Bears and how Amari Cooper has helped the Cowboys. Not about today because we didn't get to them. They scored 0 points. They scored the same amount of points that you and I did just being home. So the Cowboys, we got to really jump into them in a second. But ultimately, the Raiders and the Bengals are two terrible teams that was just battling it out to see who could be the worst team on the field. And the Bengals came out and was able to get the win. The Cowboys and the Colts. I'm going to tell you this right now. I told you when Andrew Luck, I was looking at Andrew Luck during the win streak, and I was like, yo, this dude's balling. And when he's balling like that and not throwing picks, you know what I'm saying? He did throw that pick, but then they took it back. It was a penalty. But This dude, T.Y. Hilton is a savage animal, bro. I don't want to hear nothing about the Cowboys defense and all the Cowboy fans going wild and all that stuff. They just got outright beaten. That's what happened. Look, I used to be very, very like, I was very cautious about the way I felt about T.Y. because he's 5'9". He's undersized in the league with such big guys. He's an unbelievable route runner. He's an unbelievable athlete. He's an unbelievable receiver. Look, man, that dude could not be covered. I understand that Marlon Mack had 2 rush TDs or whatever, but T.Y. Hilton with those clutch catches, that's really, in my opinion, you know, in addition with the Colts playing unbelievable defense, just straight up locking down the run and locking down Dak Prescott. With the way that T.Y. Hilton played, this team can be very, very dangerous because they're playing like the momentum is with them. I don't know what's going on with the Colts. I did not see this coming. I didn't even think the Colts would be above 500 this year. So I'm an absolute idiot. But I'm going to tell you this right now. The Cowboys need to go work on some things. The Redskins and the Jaguars. The Jaguars are, in my opinion, I tweeted this out at GMyersWorld if you guys would like to follow me on Twitter. The Jaguars are the most disappointing team in the National Football League this year. They suck, and it's a disgusting display of what we thought would probably be a team going back to the AFC Championship game. They are absolutely horrific. They lost to a team where the starting quarterback right now, what is it, Josh Johnson, whatever his name is, he learned his teammates' names from a video game. And he actually said that in an interview. He played Madden 19 and found out who his teammates were. That's who they just lost to. The Jaguars are an absolute joke. And I want to know something else about the Redskins. Has Dirty Sanchez, a.k.a. Mark Sanchez, been cut yet? Because that dude sucks, and he should not be on the roster. Because even if Josh Johnson gets hurt, I would not want to see this guy out there. I think that's his name, right? That dude sucks. It doesn't really matter what his name is. I know it's like a Josh something with it, but the guy played for like every NFL team, and this guy is an absolute moron, and he's doing drives down the field. AP did his thing too, though. AP really helped them out a lot with the win, but I'm disgusted with the Jaguars. Dolphins and the Vikings, #school. I'm going to tell you this right now. This is the dangerous thing about Kirk Cousins. He will come out there and he'll throw a screenplay for 6 for the other way. You know what I'm saying? Like for the defense. And then he'll come out and throw a hot one right down the middle of the field, and the dude will be wide open. You know, right to Diggs. I don't know what I'm getting. It's Jekyll and Hyde. I can't deal with these emotional roller coasters, man. That's why I can't deal with these teams, because you just like there's no consistency with any of them. Look, 32 teams, there's no consistency with none of them. Somehow, some way, they're going to fail you no matter what. Whether you're doing fantasy football, you know, this is your fantasy playoffs, whatever. It doesn't matter, bro. These guys just go out and they're just idiots on days when you really need them to step up. But that's neither here nor there. The bottom line is this. The Vikings scare me because they're quarterback. Defensively, I think they can play with anybody. And I think that Mike Zimmer's going to get them boys ready for the playoffs once they're, you know, solidified and in there, because we know that the Bears clinched the division. So they're actually, you know, going to be chilling out. But the Dolphins are a terrible team that were, you know, they were overachievers early, and they're coming back down to reality, and we're seeing what they actually were. Tannehill is not a good quarterback in this league. I don't care what any of you guys say. But ultimately, the Vikings defense can play well. It's going to be up to their offense to be able to do something. The Titans and the Giants, they get shut out. The Giants, right? Derrick Henry, when you look at him on the field, he doesn't look like he should be out there with the other guys. It's like Pop Warner playing high school, like, you know, playing college guys. Like, the dude is just a monster out there on the field. And these are consecutive games where he's putting together certain things, like 6 rush TDs in the last 2 games. That's outrageous. Titan fans have a lot to be excited for, because they're a team that also can run the ball and also plays great defense. Nobody wants to play a team like that in the playoffs, bro. You're trying to look for an easy win, get yourself, you know, ready to go, because more than likely it's going to be wild card, whatever. These teams, you don't want to play the Titans, bruh. You don't want to play the Titans. You don't want to play the Ravens. Like, who wants to do that? You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, who wants to really do that? Nobody. Like, it's really wild, but I'm very, very scared. This should be Eli Manning's last season. Eli Manning should not return to the New York Giants. Seahawks and the 49ers. This came down to a field goal on the foot of Robbie Gould. The dude was good as gold. I don't know how the Seahawks managed to lose this game. It was a downpour of rain. A lot of things were happening, but it was really, really wild. The 49ers, this is the first time beating them since like 2012. So that was kind of weird. But ultimately, that really hurts the Seahawks solidifying their playoff hopes. Patriots and the Steelers. The Steelers finally did it, bro. And it came on a ridiculous interception with like 4 or 5 minutes left by Tom Brady, where he just pulled what's an idiot quarterback's name? Eli Manning. He pulled an Eli Manning, closed his eyes, and threw the ball to the right sideline, threw a pick right to Hayden. I don't know what he was doing. Either way, they finally broke through and got this win. This is going to be huge for them in all playoff seeding, because you guys got to remember, there's a lot of other teams that are kind of like waiting to see what happens. The Houston Texans sitting there trying to be the number 2 seed possibly. This can get really, really crazy and edgy. I still don't trust the Steelers, but they are also a dangerous team to let in the playoffs, so I don't know how it's going to pan out. Tom Brady wasn't that Tom Brady that we needed to see today. I don't know if that... I already told you guys at the beginning of the year, I thought the Patriots weren't going back to the Super Bowl, but this was kind of bad in the way that he finished off the game, but we still have to wait to see because he's still Tom Brady. And I still think he played pretty well, and he threw the ball pretty well, but just, he had a lot of overthrows and some things in between there. So we got to wait to see how everything settles down for Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football. So be sure to come back to G Miles World Podcast. Thank you guys and girls so much for watching and listening. Until next time, one love.